What's up, Stephen Johnson Stocks? I'm in Philadelphia. It's like 7 a.m. Yeah, looking forward for the market open on Eastern time. But it's took us a while. It's took us some time to actually get to this point where I feel comfortable and okay to look at what I've been doing, looking at my losses, looking at what's been going well this month, look at what's been going bad. I should be doing it all along, but I've been so frustrated with performance that I've just like blocked it and really just not looked at the data. So we're going to go through that now, and the results are quite amazing. Ready to come back to the data, and it was down 876 in August. It finished up, but compared to previous multi-thousand-dollar losses, much better. And I'm down 819 in September, but at least took the step to get back to the data and see where I'm going wrong, and the results are very much telling. I mean, start of the month, just really trading gap and crabs, took 132 gap and crab on REPH, left some on the table. PRQR, it had the signs of a gap and go, but I was lucky to cut it tight for a small profit. And then MBEV, I was just a little bit shaky. I was a bit underconfident with my old strategy because I haven't been winning that well. And I actually flip-flopped. I took a small loss pre-market on the short side and I thought it was going to run. And I flip-flopped and actually went long. So that should have been a $750 profit if I'd actually had the conviction and didn't flip-flop. So that was really disappointing. But it really made me think, like, just I've got a rule on the wall now: just never flip flop, no matter what. It's either a long or it's a short. Don't try and play both ways, and don't make last minute decisions. Stick to your plan that you've made. I should have stuck to it. If back in the day I would have been half size half size at the open, and I would have banked 750. This was me not following my own strategy, and then as shaky, so I took a few days off. Another gap and crab covered way too early. CHKE, another gap and crab 248. Covered way too early, and then I bought an afternoon pump and dump, went long in, and that was really stupid, and I couldn't get out. It was like I was trapped. It was difficult to get out of that because it was one of those ones where sometimes pump and dumps in the morning, they'll dip and they'll come back up, but they're very difficult if you don't cut your losses quickly, and this was an afternoon one. It just got out of control very quickly. So I mean, it's my form on short and gap and crabs has never really been better. I can read them so well, just have a bit more conviction. Like on this one, keep away from any kind of longs just for now. I trade with tiny size and certainly don't try and dip by pump and dumps in the afternoon. That was stupid. And I mean, you'll find that there's absolutely no reason why. I mean, one trade can easily put us back on a green month. Just one decent setup, or even a couple of good 200, 300 days. And I'm straight back, and what one green month leads to another green month. Just need to keep track of what I'm doing, keep on just playing the gap and craps, have some more conviction, keep away from any kind of longs, and the fucking consistency is going to be back. So I mean, I'm not writing a green month out of the question. I really feel good about my discipline now, and I feel good about the way I'm documenting things. I really feel good about gap and craps.
I am short CLRB. I'll just let it run. I'm down like $10. Just took me starter position. Took 1,000 shares. I'll go fully in 2,000 shares. But when you get this kind of, it's popped up to the 265s. FDA have approved some content use. It's dipped. Obviously, it's got sold off straight away. I'll show you why in a second. Then it's obviously bounced. Maybe some shorts have covered. Don't know if I can't see if anyone's dip buying this. Maybe some people are dip buying it, but when you see like 100,000 volume and the news came out at 8:30, it's 9 o'clock. It's not really. It's only traded 100,000. It's not like there's some crazy momentum, crazy news. No one's really interested in it. I've just gone green on it. Hopefully, I'll stay green for the rest of the position now. And no one's really interested in it. Gaps and fails here. Gaps and fails here. Gaps and fails here. The long-term chart is pretty terrible. It's gone from the 30s down to there you go, it's failing already, up $34. The long-term chart really shows it's just bad news after bad news after bad news. It's got warrants to sell and dilute the float. So the thing with this is it's just like, how high can it go and can you get the top? And it's kind of hard to say. So all you can really do, because I can't see this. I mean, The only concern is it's a low float at 3 million. So if it breaks higher day somehow, if it pops here in goes where we've just saw 59 start to break, so it's 45 bucks up. If it breaks the higher day, like some early shorts will get squeezed, longs might buy. So if it breaks the 285s, then you can probably think that it might be an exception. But to break the 285s, it's gonna need like a good 300,000 at the open, 400,000. And the way things are, with the ask being higher than the bid, with this bounce starting to fail, 45 bucks up, I can't see it happening. So I'll probably just try and carefully add to a winner, carefully get to about 6,000 around the open. And if I can take 10%, it's 500 bucks. But again, I'll be careful. But the way this stock performs, when you look back at like 2 months ago, when it gives back these red days, it gives like everything back, because obviously no one wants to be in the stock regardless of the news. So it gaps to the 10s and it comes all the way back down to the 7s, where in the previous day it was in the 730s, it closed in the 740s. So it tends to give it all back just about. I mean, here it didn't give it all back, so you should be able to take it down to about 5, 6, 7%. But anything can happen now. Like, it can run, it can squeeze shorts, it can get manipulated. Anything can happen here. But if it isn't going to be manipulated, because this could be an ABCD, like you've got kind of an A, settles B, highs on OC, and runs to break higher D. It could be a little push here. I'm not out of the woods by any stretch. So if it breaks higher day, I'm out. And if it continues to not double bottom, to not bounce, to not spike, say it's quickly changed, I'm red again. If it continues to break down, then I'll hold it down to the kind of the 230s, 240s. If it breaks through, I have to cut it, because there could be a hidden buyer, there could be some manipulation. I've just got to take the loss. So, I mean, it is a little bit risky that it's low float. It's a little bit risky that these can get manipulated. So I have to cut the higher day, and it's just one of those things. It's not the perfect setup, but it's a pretty good one because it fails pretty much every time it gaps up.
The average that I've got is 264, starting to break down. So I've got orders in there for 274, 279. This is a classic Jeevan textbook setup. I'm up. I'm in a little bit of profit. I'm expecting a bit of a spike at the open. I'm hoping I can get like 260, 274, 279, which would mean it's a spike just above where it's been basing. But can't be too greedy because it's only up 18% on the day. And I'm just watching. I mean, I'm expecting a wash. I'll be covering around the 240s, I'd imagine. I'm putting a little ad in the 64s and the 74s because I just don't think you're going to get much of a push here. I think it just looks too weak. There's too little volume. People aren't paying. 140,000 shares traded on this. If you look now, there's a 31,000 on the ask at 259. Just scroll back. 31,000 shares on the ask there. Just people are like hammering this to fail. There's big short sellers just preparing to like smash this down. As we get to the open, and we're going to get the open any second. Watch it come through. Again, I'll try and get a quick ad in the 63s. See how we see 20,000 volume, 63. Pops up, straight back down. And that's it. I mean, I was going for I was even trying to get like a 258 ad in there, just a little cheeky one, but we're immediately out of shares. We can see by the fact that even in the opening minute, like there's been 50,000 traded. I see a huge wash, so now I'm just putting covers in. Like, right, I'll take 243. I'll take half a wash because I can't add anyway. I can't play into this because the borrows have all gone already. So it's kind of a case of how many shares have I got left? Shall I wait for this? I've got 1,000 left. And the idea here is how strong's this bounce going to be, and it looks pretty weak. So I'm already like thinking, right, like let's take another 5%. Let's go for like 238, 234. Because normally when you get a big wash like this, it should bounce 50%. If it bounces 60, 70%, then you're more in trouble. But this is such a weak bounce that you're like, this is going nowhere. But on the flip side, you're like, it's only green on the day, like another 9%. It's not to give everything back anyway. So I'm just thinking, look, just take 238, 237 and be done with it. It's nice. I mean, I had a $2 position. I made me a few $100. There's no need to like be greedy, I don't think. So I'm just waiting, but I get a bit hesitant. I'm like, this level, This 239 level seems to be like holding, and I'm just waiting for the crack to like 231, 236. So I'm thinking I'll just take some off, just cover another 400 there. And then I think if this doesn't wash out, I'm just going to cover another because I'm just scared it's going to come back on us. In hindsight, there's absolutely no reason why it should come back. So many people are underwater. If anything, it'll grind a bit and then it'll just collapse. But I'm just happy to just take it off, yeah. No worries. Collection on sale RB. I took it off way too early because here's the like where I was getting a bit scared in the 239s where I was holding. A couple of minutes later, I just dropped down to the 226s, held, and then dropped down to the twos. And then in the next day, it dropped to back to the almost the 180s, 190s, low twos, basically low twos. We'll see. So I could have easily took. I mean, I was up here on the average. Pretty sure my average was around these 250s, 260s, and I could have really had down to the 240s. So, and that is a wrap. Had a really nice short today as well, which I'll show you. Is just cleared $500. Check my Instagram on that one, off about 1600. Took about 30% on that. So really just a couple of $100 off green on the month, and really feeling good. I felt things were turning around. Habits are good. About to hit the gym, and there's a girl who is a fucking tremendous girl who I can't say much more about her, but she knows who she is, and I hope that one day she becomes my girlfriend and I'll introduce you to her. But I'll leave it at that, and I can't wait for the conference. Can't wait to meet you guys. Like, say yes, hit us up, mention if you go to the conference. We'll have some beers together, and if I can just get this month green, which it's very close to doing, I've really turned a lot around. If I can get this month green, get this girl who I really like, and see you guys at the conference. It's going to be a life and a dream come true, and hard work has finally paid off. Nothing but peace and love. Live the dream.